Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And today, Alex and I are doing another round of a reading roulette.
Yes.
It was important to kind of taper down the TBR a little bit.
We're really trying.
It'll never happen, but it's a really nice delusion that we get to stick with. So we've saved everybody the horrors of whatever the dice decided to do to me last time. And we actually rolled off recording today.
Yeah.
So Alex and I got to prep a little bit extra. But we did roll from a list of 20 different stories, and we each got assigned 3 to read so that we can tell you what our thoughts are, whether or not we're going to continue reading. And Alex's choices were
Star-Crossed, Check Please, and Define the Relationship.
And mine were Off Track, Little Mitzi Muffet, and the Spider King, and After Dark.
Very different themes. You got 2 thrillers.
I know. Not my usual bag.
Yeah.
But I will say, I liked all my series.
That's good.
So it worked out for me. But I'm really excited to hear you talk about yours because a lot of these have been on your TBR for a minute.
They have. So Star-Crossed is one that I bought on a Barnes & Noble trip because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because we do judge books by their covers a lot.
And it works out.
It does work out. So this one is also on Webtoon. There are 403 episodes on Webtoon, but it is one of those ones where it's like 1 page equals 1 episode.
Okay.
So it's not a ton of content.
Gotcha.
I think that the first book goes through volume 2, page 55 on Webtoon.
Okay.
And there are like 4 volumes.
Okay.
So, not bad.
Yeah.
And it is a romance story. This one is kind of like a personified stars, which, I love that.
Oh, I love that.
So this one is about Polaris, and he is the second son of the stars. His older brother is Alcor, and they are kind of in a battle for the throne right now. Mm-hmm. Alcor was the one who was supposed to be on the throne, but he kind of lost his right to the throne, and so then Polaris took over, and now Alcor is challenging him to get it back.
Yeah.
So Polaris also has a bodyguard, and his name is Yidun, and he is like this giant shadow bodyguard. He stays in the shadows. He's like, I cannot be looked at you. I am not worthy of looking at you, your royal highness.
Aw.
And Polaris is like in love with him. He's like, please show me your face.
Everyone loves a shadow daddy.
Everyone does. And so Polaris is just trying so hard at the beginning to be like, please come have tea with me. Let's, hang out. And he's like, no, I can't. I couldn't possibly. So everything starts to happen. And what they do to challenge for the throne is Polaris and Alcor have royal blood because they're from the royal bloodline, and their blood is also paint, and so they use paintbrushes to paint the sky with different creatures for stars, and so that's how they're kind of battling each other.
Yeah. So
Polaris is defeated, and Alcor becomes the new king, and Yidun has to, go to be the new guard for Alcor, but he does not want to. He's not really loyal to the crown as he should be. He's loyal to Polaris. Mm-hmm. And so he thinks that something is wrong because he's like, Polaris is so strong. He should not have had his paintings just crumble away immediately.
Yeah.
And so he kind of unravels this huge plot that there was paint thinner put into his paint by Alcor. And so that's why Polaris lost. So then they have like kind of another battle, and Polaris wins this time. And then Alcor kind of tries to kind of take over anyway, but Polaris like puts him back in his place, and as punishment is like, you can never challenge me for the throne again, and you have to go off to survey these stars. And they kind of have a heart-to-heart, and you see from Alcor's point of view, like, the pressure that was put on him as a child. Like, you get to see them together, and they're both doing these paintings, and Polaris is making these little flowers, and Alcor is like also making something like super cutesy like that. And then the teachers are like, you can't be wasting your time on these frivolous paintings. You have to do things that are actually going to be beneficial for us. Mm-hmm. And so you just see like the difference of how they grew up. Polaris grew up loving to do this, while Alcor feels like it's something that he's obligated to do.
Yeah.
So everyone knows that Polaris is the most powerful now. Mm-hmm. And they're also a relatively new kingdom, so there's more established kingdoms around.
Yeah.
All of this happened at the very beginning. This happens so fast that if you blink, you'll miss this part of the story.
Well, I'm glad you retained it.
Yeah. So I like this story. That is my kind of only qualm with it, though, is just that the pacing felt a little off. Mm-hmm. Because it happened so fast that, like, I had to, like, sit and think about it for a while. Like, what even happened? But at this point, they do switch storylines. So now we're going into chapter 2, and chapter 2 is Polaris going to Yulden, and he's like, look, I liked you, but I'm not going to force you to be with me. Yulden is kind of like, I realize now, since you were injured, because he was injured during the battle, mm-hmm. that if you ever woke up, that I would do anything that you asked me forever. Polaris is like, okay, we're going to be together then. So he and Polaris do become in a relationship, but now Polaris is getting a bunch of people who are coming to propose to him because he's seen as like a really powerful royal now. Mm-hmm. And so he gets a marriage proposal from his friend Mirach, and Mirach is like, look, me and you, we're pals. Mm-hmm. And I know that you don't love me, but let's just be in a marriage so that our kingdoms can be aligned. Mm-hmm. And we'll just be friends. And Polaris is like, that's a good idea, but I don't want to marry anyone but Yulden. Mm-hmm. And
I mean, you gotta give him this. He's sticking to his guns.
He is. So a lot of other people come after him and start to try and propose as well. There's one guy, his name is Arcturus, and he cannot take a hint. I think he's going to end up being a bad guy. Yeah. Because he's asked Polaris multiple times, and Polaris is like, please stop asking me to go on a date with you or to dance with you at the ball, or please stop following me around or showing up in the garden where I'm at. And he's just like, no, I'm not gonna. You'll like me eventually.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, I don't think so. So all of this is going on. Now they're just trying to figure out what is the next step for the kingdom. How can Polaris and Yulden be together? And trying to like figure out a new dynamic, but making sure that everything is still good in the kingdom. Mm-hmm. And so it is a good story. I really love the like personification of stars. I loved Planetarium, which is a kind of similar concept. There's a Polaris in Planetarium as well. But the pacing just felt a little off to me. Mm-hmm. Because the battle that I thought was going to be a major plot point was not. And it was probably intended to be that way. It just like felt...
It's more like a prologue almost.
Yeah, it felt so quick to me. Now, I only have volume 1 of this. There is volume 2, and I am going to get volume 2.
Yeah.
It's already out.
Well, I'm glad you'll continue with it. I remember seeing this one in Barnes & Noble, and both of us were kind of like, who gets it? There's only one. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. And maybe I'll eventually read it on Webtoon. Yeah. Who's to say?
It is. The font is really small on Webtoon, so it's one of those where you may have to zoom in at certain points. Yeah. But worth it.
You know, maybe. Who's to say? Sometimes I get inconvenienced and I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Well, the next one that I read is After Dark. This is one that we were both reading, and you actually added it to the list for yourself.
I did.
But I ended up reading this one, and sad news for all, but this one is not continuing on Webtoon. So I actually caught up to the end of the series, or the end on Webtoon at least.
Yeah.
At 71 episodes. And they said that they'll continue it on their social media, but that it's just not going to continue on Webtoon. So it'll be a while, I think, till we get any updates about this series. I will tell you about it today because we both loved this story. We loved the art and everything else. So I'll just kind of catch you up to where it's at. You can decide if you want to follow it on socials and read more.
The reason I put this on the list too is because it was marked complete on Webtoon, and so I thought it was one we should both finish. So
I know. Well, I will say the art and the story continued to be great.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
If you want to read to where it's at, and if they end up updating it on like a Patreon or something, it's definitely, you know, one that I do already recommend. But for anybody who doesn't know, the story follows Drew, and he's run away from home because he's gone through quite a bit of loss recently. He and his girlfriend got in a huge fight. She also died after they got stranded in their car for a minute, and he locked her out and she got attacked by a beast. So he's feeling a lot of guilt right now. And the personification of that guilt has also kind of festered by the fact that he was also attacked by this beast. And he is now a werewolf. He does not know how to handle this, on top of all the other stress that he's going through. Like, come on, give the guy a break. But he runs away from home because he doesn't really understand what's going on. He doesn't feel understood by the people in his life. And he's like, I'm just going to start over. It's fine. He goes to a motel, and he ends up transforming into a werewolf on the first full moon. And he ends up attacking people because he has no control over this whatsoever. He attacks the owner of the motel, and then he has to run away because he's like, well, shit, like, I don't want to be attached to this. Fortunately, it's not immediately pegged on him. They assume it's an animal attack, and they do live like in the woods in British Columbia. So there are, you know, some kind of ways to kind of get out of that. But he ends up moving to another town, and he gets a job working at a cafe, just trying to kind of give himself some normalcy to bring in money because he needs a place to go. So he gets an apartment, and you see that he really is trying to get a hold down on what this new life looks like for him. Like, he's starting to come to terms with the fact that he's a werewolf. He's like, okay, I can't really ignore that. Like, I can see that, like, when I get upset, I have, like, fur that grows on me. And, you know, my teeth get pointier, you know, the whole thing. And so a lot of this is him trying to, you know, get rid of the demons in his head. His girlfriend's always kind of talking down to him and everything else. And it's that guilt creeping in and the stress and everything that he's experiencing. And he starts to kind of make friends with the people that he's working with. So, you know, the cafe owner, Sam, is super nice and welcoming to him. And he has a coworker named Gabby, and he starts to really like her. And they start to really open up to one another. So you have Gabby kind of opening up about her life and how, you know, she's really struggling with her parents being divorced and everything else. And, you know, she doesn't really, like, get along with her stepbrother, and, you know, she's just having a hard time adjusting to it. Whereas Drew is not so open about everything he's gone through. He kind of talks around in circles, and he's very mysterious about everything that he has gone through. However, one night when another full moon is approaching, he ends up chaining himself up with some rope, and it doesn't hold because he was able to bite through it as his werewolf. And he ends up, like, ransacking this town, like, eating, you know, bones and stuff out of garbage cans and whatever else. And he ends up seeing Gabby at her family's home, and his werewolf form doesn't, like, pick up on the fact that it's her. Like, he doesn't register. And he ends up attacking her and, like, slashing through her leg. So she ends up going to the hospital, and when Drew wakes up, he doesn't really realize what happened because he was not in control at all. But he learns that she was attacked by a dog, and he immediately starts to suspect that it was him because he's like, no dog attack would be that bad. And Gabby's even saying, I don't know what it was, like a dog or a bear, like something, but it was crazy. And she kind of gets this PTSD from it, like to the point that they go to this festival together, and he's trying on Halloween costumes, and he has little wolf ears on. And she, like, sees the resemblance for a split second, and she, like, has him take it off. And she's like, great, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else for a minute and, like, take a breather. And so Drew is now really paranoid. he's like, she thinks it was me. Or does she think it was me? No, it wasn't me. It wasn't. And he's having this internal monologue about it. And of course, the ghost of his girlfriend is like, I bet it was you. That's kind of how she is throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
She's like a zombie form of the girlfriend, and she just talks awful to him, but you know that it's his inner voice.
Yeah.
And just the guilt eating him alive. But, you know, Gabby kind of gets over this, and Gabby makes it clear that she really likes Drew. And while they're at this festival, they end up running into Gabby's ex-boyfriend, who is really awful. His name's Liam. And he's like still super protective over her, even though they've been broken up and gotten back together several times. And she's like, no, I'm not ever getting back with you this time. So Liam starts to get extremely jealous, and Gabby invites Drew over to this friend's game night. And Liam wasn't originally invited to the game night, but one of their friends ended up having a slip up, and they're like, well, Liam always used to come. And they're like, yeah, when Gabby and Liam were dating each other, you don't put two exes across from one another on a game night. So Liam is watching Drew and Gabby play the games together, and he's pissed at how close Drew and Gabby are. So he pulls a dick move, and he dumps his entire drink on Drew on purpose. And Gabby goes and takes Drew to, you know, get all cleaned up or whatever. And they almost kiss. And then Drew's like, hey, I'm going to go. I got to leave. Like, we just can't do this right now. We'll talk about it later, whatever else. So he goes outside to wait, and Liam confronts him and starts a fight. And Drew ends up transforming without being able to control it. And he slashes through Liam's face.
Oh my gosh.
So Liam is like disfigured from this and traumatized, and Gabby went to give Drew his coat back, and she ends up seeing it. And so she's like, now I know he attacked Liam, like it was him. And I'm pretty sure he's the person that attacked me. Like, it wasn't TBR, it was Drew. So she's freaking out about it. You find out that there is a pack of other werewolves that have all gotten together, and they go by the name the Bloodhounds. And they kind of keep all of the other werewolves in check, because when people are first transitioning, they don't have full control over it. They black out, whatever else. And there are ways to kind of come to terms with it and be in more control. So they find Drew and they give him an option. They're like, you can't keep going on these rampages. You're turning other people into werewolves. And the only way that we've found peace with all of this is we either train you how to control it and you travel with us in a pack, because you can't be around normal people like that, or we're going to have to put you down. And so Drew is like, I'm not coming to terms with the fact that I am a werewolf. Gabby started to distance herself from him. And the story leaves off with Gabby and Drew having a confrontation where Drew's like, hey, are you not talking to me because, you know, we almost kissed and we haven't talked about that? And she's like, what even are you? And that's where the story leaves off.
Oh my gosh.
It sucks because I know it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have to continue it on socials.
Yeah.
But I'm just so sad that it's not continuing on Webtoon, because it's always so nice to have like all the stories you're reading in one place. And we already juggle so many different apps that I know I'll fall behind if it's on socials.
Yeah.
But I love it too much. I have to continue.
I think I'm going to wait until it comes out somewhere else, until I start reading this one again. But yeah, I loved this one when we first started reading it.
The art in this second season, it's somehow even more beautiful.
Yeah.
I just love it. I'm just so sad that it's not continuing on Webtoon.
Yeah.
But I am going to find it whenever it's continuing to publish. So
You'll have to put out a PSA.
yeah, I'll put out a PSA.
So the next one that I'm going to talk about is a completed one.
Very fun.
It is called Check Please. And this one is in print, 2 volumes completed.
So easy.
Just so nice.
Yeah.
And this one is also on Webtoon. There are 60 episodes, and it's not completed on Webtoon. So if you are reading it there, still an ongoing series, but you can buy both volumes.
Is it completed on a different platform? Like
I don't
Tapas?
know. I've not seen it on any other platforms. It might be. But I do remember seeing the books when it first came out on Webtoon. the second book was in our local bookstore because that's how we even started talking about it.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it was a book first and then a webtoon. I don't know.
know.
But this one is about Eric Biddle. He is a figure skater in high school, and he is off to college, and there is no figure skating scholarships, so he is going to college on a hockey scholarship.
Very different.
Yeah. And
has he played hockey also?
No, and he is not the best at it at first. He's a good skater and he's really fast. He's small.
Yeah.
And so they, have him on the team, but he is absolutely terrified of getting checked.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Have you sat down and watched a hockey game?
So no. Actually, I think I watched one with you.
Probably.
Yeah.
I love hockey.
I know. I love to read about it in a romance fashion.
You know what? I am so happy that there has been a surge of hockey romances.
Oh my gosh. I want to take a quiz about hockey to see how much I know about hockey from romance alone.
I would be very curious if there's an accurate representation for you. Icebreaker wasn't so bad, but they didn't really focus on the hockey
it
aspect.
wasn't focused on it. I have seen I've read a decent share of hockey romances.
Well, and you read this one too, so hopefully
Yeah.
there was some information about hockey in it.
There was some. Actually, it was really fun. They do have little mini comics, and some of those were talking about different hockey traditions, like sellies and
Aww.
all that kind of stuff. So you do learn a little bit from that.
Yeah.
But Eric Biddle, not so great at hockey at the beginning. He is, however, a great baker.
Again, doesn't make you great at hockey.
But it does make him popular with his teammates. They
want a carbo load.
Yeah, they love his baking. At first, they're kind of like, what's going on? But then when he starts bringing them pies to their keg parties.
That's so cute.
I know. I love it. So he's super cute. But our other main character, Jack, he is a hockey player, has been a hockey player. So Jack is the team captain.
Okay.
He is trying to live up to his father's expectations because his father was also a hockey player. Some of his other teammates have really funny nicknames.
Oh, I love that.
So one of them, the nickname is Shitty, and no one knows why.
That is the best thing I've ever heard. What's up, Shitty?
Yeah. And there's another guy who they name Whiskey, and then one of the other guys is like, wouldn't you rather be Whiskers?
Whiskers. He's like, no?
He's like, no, I think I'll stick with Whiskey, thank you.
Do they have to earn their nicknames, like a badge of honor?
No, that's actually one of the small comics in it, is how you get your nickname. And it's you take the first part of either your first or last name, and then you add ski.
That's so funny.
His last name started with whisk.
That's so funny because my nickname at the police department was Ansky.
Ansky, was it? That's funny. I was thinking though, it wouldn't work well with my name.
Alesky.
Yeah. That just sounds weird. It sounds like I'm in a fantasy dragon novel or something.
You are the dragon.
I'm the dragon.
Alesky does sound like a dragon name.
So, Eric is starting to get closer to Jack because he's the captain and he's scared of being checked. He runs away from the puck.
And I'm sure that Jack is super fond of that.
Everyone is like, what is happening? But Jack especially is like, you get your shit together or you get off the ice.
I have a real life question. How did he get a scholarship for this?
I don't know.
Don't you have to be good at it and do auditions?
I don't know if they call them auditions for hockey.
Tryouts? I don't know.
I think tryouts. I don't know. I don't remember. I feel
Can
like
you tell
they
I was a
probably
theater kid?
Yeah. Their audition. So I read the first part of this a while ago, and I didn't go back and reread, so I don't remember if it says how he got into this. But it is just that he was a figure skater. Now he's a hockey player. He starts getting close to Jack. They become really good friends. And the two books are broken out into freshman and sophomore year and junior and senior year.
Aww.
So it's kind of like a slice of life, but just about a hockey team. And it's super, super cute. Eric does his vlog throughout the whole thing. So he's like talking about his baking recipes. There's a super funny part where he is talking about how he uses his aunt's jam recipes instead of his mom's. And he's like terrified to tell his mom.
Oh.
But there's also a lot, like, you get to see them grow, you know, from his freshman year and then, like, all the way up until he's graduating. He's the team captain when he's graduating. Aww. Because he actually does get pretty good at it by the end, and he ends not being scared to check people.
Yeah.
Or being scared of being checked. But his sophomore year, the end of his sophomore year, is when Jack is going into the NHL.
Okay.
And he is sad that Jack is leaving because he wants to be close to him still. And Jack comes back to the house that they all live in, like the hockey house, and confesses his feelings to Eric, and then they start like dating.
Aww.
But it's like kind of hush-hush at the beginning because they don't want everyone to know now that he is a professional player.
Yeah.
And they're kind of scared to see what the team's going to think. So they just don't tell anyone right away.
Mm-hmm.
Jack does tell his parents, and they're very happy because they love Eric.
Aww.
And Eric doesn't tell his parents because he is worried what they're going to think.
Yeah.
Because they're from the South, and they are very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad is kind of like, you have to be a man's man type of guy.
Yeah.
And so he's just scared to, like, come out to his parents in general. And then, you know, with Jack as his boyfriend as well. And so you get to see their relationship grow from, like, getting to know each other to crushes on each other to being together to, at the very end, it ends with you seeing Jack proposing to Eric, and it's so cute. The team is there to support him, and you get to see his growth through hockey of him, like, not being able to play at all and being scared of the puck to being the team captain his senior year. And he's just very liked by his team. So it is just like a super, super cute, wholesome story. And it's pretty funny, too. Like, it's got a lot of really funny moments in it. The characters are just so funny. And, you know, they have the things like Shitty as a nickname and him trying to get around and have pies everywhere. There's a part where he's
What's
writing...
Eric's nickname? I
Biddy.
need to know. Biddy?
Yeah, Biddy.
Okay.
And so he loves to bake. Like, that is his number one thing. That's why he started his vlog channel. And he also gives hockey updates. And when it comes time for him to write his senior thesis, he lives in this hockey house with everyone. And he's avoiding it, and he's been baking all the time. And so the other guys cut the oven so that he can't bake anymore. And they call every restaurant in town and say, don't let this guy come in and bake.
You know what? We all need friends like that.
Yeah, it takes like 3 of them to hold him down.
They're like, stop.
But it's just like a super, super cute slice of life. I think that this is one that maybe your son could read, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah.
But it is one that I think would be good for...
Like almost like an all ages or like young teen.
Yeah, like it's good for definitely those young teen because it's just super wholesome and you get to see like them go through different challenges and how they grow, and I loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad you've read it finally.
Yeah, me too.
They've been sitting on the bookshelf for a minute.
I know.
But it does look so adorable. I love it because I kept being like, oh, a baker and also a sports player. It's like Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. It's nothing like that.
No, it's not.
But I've said it multiple times. Well, moving away from the wholesome a little bit is my next story. This one is one that I have been wanting to read forever. Mm-hmm. I'm not fully caught up yet, but I'm definitely going to continue with it. This is called Little Mitzi Muffet and the Spider King. This story is chef's kiss. It is crafted so well, and it's so unique. It's on Tapas, and it's an ongoing thriller series with 140 episodes. So it updates like 1 to 2 times a month, and the episodes are like a pretty standard length. The one thing I will say, similar to some of the other ones, there are some panels where you have to really zoom in to read the text.
Yeah.
But I'm so gripped by the story that I'm just doing it.
Now, I have a serious question for you.
Yes.
Did you pick up this story because there was a character in the title named the Spider King?
Absolutely. And you know what? If you asked anybody who's read this series why they read it, and 50% of them didn't say that, then 50% of them are liars. Guaranteed.
And you said it's on Tapas?
Yeah, it's on Tapas. So this story is set in some sort of like alternate nursery rhyme universe. So almost everybody has a nursery rhyme associated with them. And slowly you kind of see how their nursery rhyme darkly plays into their character. So the main character is Mitzi Muffet, or Little Miss Muffet. And as the nursery rhyme would tell you, she has a horrible fear of spiders. She finds one in her locker at school and she's screaming. And Georgie Porgy is kind of laughing at her. And, you know, the rest of her classmates are like, it's a little immature to be that afraid of a spider. Don't worry about it, you know. Well, she ends up going back home. And when she gets to her room, she's sitting on her bed for a minute. And the room goes dark. Like, the lights are still on, but it's just, like, dark around her.
Always what you want to see.
And when she looks around, it is like her entire room is covered with spiders.
Oh, no.
And out from the corner comes this, I mean, honestly, I love him. This beautiful demon. And he has, like, these little marks on his face that look like 2 little spiders, like, coming down on a web on his cheeks.
Oh, my gosh.
But he introduces himself as the Spider King, and he goes, I've chosen you to be my bride. And Mitzi Muffet goes, no thanks. Also, can you get the rest of the spiders to go away? And so immediately, like, snap of his fingers, all the rest of the spiders are gone. And he's like, this power could be yours to command as well. You just have to be my bride. And he's like, don't worry. I'm not asking you to do this without something in return. You can ask 3 wishes of me, and I'll help you to, you know, make them come true. So she's like, no thanks. And he goes, okay, well, I'm just going to stay here until you say yes. And you have to ask the favors of me because I'm not a monster. Like, I'm going to do the favors for you. But, you know, also, I'm not leaving until I get a yes. So
what if her favor was go away?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that one. So you're a little bit confused why he's chosen Mitzi. And she's confused as well. She's like, great. Just my luck. The Spider King seeks me out, and I'm horrified of spiders. Me as the reader, I'm immediately like, if she can command the spiders to stay away from her, maybe it's not so bad.
It seems like the best option.
Yeah. You could send spiders on other people and not have them come near you. That sounds like the perfect relationship with a spider.
Keep them around the house so that no other bugs get into your house, but don't let them in the house.
Perfect.
And you get a nice demon husband.
And you can sign me up. So Mitzi goes back to school. She's obviously dealing with some things in the background that her friends don't know. But then some weird things kind of start happening at school. So she has a classmate named Betty, and Betty has been known to be copying Mitzi, like her fashion sense and everything else. And some of Mitzi's friends kind of look down on Betty for this. They're like, wow, like maybe she should have her own personality. And Mitzi doesn't really care. She's like, no, maybe it's just her own style. Like, she's not copying me. But after all these people start to have these negative emotions towards Betty, this dark aura trips her down the stairs and she cracks her head open.
Oh my gosh.
So Bo and Mitzi end up going to the hospital to visit Betty, and they're like, what happened? And Betty's like, no one believes me, but this like dark matter just tripped me down the stairs. Like, I was walking fine and I saw it was like a shadow that tripped me. And Mitzi's like, okay, Betty. Definitely no head injury there.
Yeah.
But, you know, she hears about this black smoke and the black smoke, and Mitzi immediately kind of calls back to seeing her friend Humphrey, and he was getting bullied by Georgie, and she saw this like black mass kind of coming around him. And she's like, did Humphrey do this? Like, what's going on? So she's starting to pay just a little bit more attention. And you see that Humphrey is being mercilessly bullied and taken advantage of by his classmates. He's a little overweight. They're constantly making fun of him. They're constantly shoving their homework off on him. And you just see this anger start to grow in him. And this black smoke starts to like envelop him. He starts lashing out at people and getting really angry. And Mitzi, like, multiple times is, like, trying to connect with him, and he just gets, like, more and more distant. So he actually embodies the nursery rhyme Humpty Dumpty. And so as Humphrey continues to be bullied more and more, he ends up giving Mitzi a gift. He's like, hey, sorry I snapped at you the other day. Here's this gift. And it was this little charm that they collected together, and they said that it was, like, a good luck charm, and it keeps you safe. And Mitzi's like, he's been acting really off. We need to find Humphrey. And when they go to find him, he's at the top of the school and he falls off the top of the school.
Oh, no.
And he ends up plummeting to his death. So all the students go to his funeral. She's like, what is this black smoke? Does it have something to do with the Spider King? He showed up. You know, what's going on? And so she goes to the Spider King and she's pissed. She's like, did you do this? Is the black smoke your spiders? Or like, do you command this black smoke? And he's like, no. And she goes, are you lying to me? And he goes, I would never lie to my future queen. Like, I am a good demon. And Mitzi's like, I just don't understand what this is. And he's like, you can ask me for a favor. And she goes, no, because I'm not going into a contract with you. I don't need your help. I don't need your favor. And so she is just kind of spiraling at this point. Like, to the point she's feeling so guilty about Humphrey's death and about Betty getting injured and feeling like it's connected to the Spider King showing up and everything else. And finally she asks the Spider King, she goes, is it my fault? And he's like, no, like, you would have nothing to do with this. He's like, you can just see the black smoke that other people can't. And so he explains to her that the black smoke is a miasma. It's basically like a low-level demon that clings on to negative emotions, builds them up, and once their host dies, they move on to a different one.
Oh.
So she goes, if I would have asked you for a favor, could I have saved Humphrey from the black smoke? And he says yes.
Aw.
So she's having a really hard time processing. She feels really guilty. Like, she's told by her therapist to journal, and she writes, it's all my fault, like, over and over in her journal. And the Spider King is trying to help her. So, like, she gets really distressed, and she lays down, and he puts, like, a cool towel on her head. And he's, like, kind of taking care, and she still won't do the favors, but she's like, thank you, from a distance.
You and your spiders stay over there.
Yeah, exactly. She literally draws out a little corner that he's allowed to stay in his spider form.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
She's like, do not cross this boundary. But after Humphrey passes away, everyone at the school is shaken. Like, almost everybody starts to blame themselves. Like, the people who used to show off their homework, they're like, it was my fault. And, you know, Georgie's like, maybe I shouldn't have called him Humpty Dumpty as a nickname. But Bo Peep is especially taking it hard. She kind of stops going to school for a little while. And she really just kind of finds comfort in the fact that she has a really good support system at home. And mostly it's her brother. Like, her brother bought her this, like, comfort stuffed animal. And he's been, like, helping to work odd jobs to kind of help keep their family afloat because her mom's not really very present. And Bo also has Mitzi, who, like, really is working to console her because Bo is feeling very guilty. Like, maybe I wasn't as good of a friend. Like, I didn't pay as much attention to him as other people in the friend group. And so they're all just trying to comfort one another through all of the grief that they're feeling. But the next day, Bo's brother comes home from work and he's like, hey, give me like 30 minutes to take a nap and I'll take you to school. And so Bo goes to knock on the door to get John to to take her to school. And John died of an aneurysm.
Oh, man.
So Bo's now lost Humpty and she's lost John. And she's really struggling with it. Now, like, all of the classmates are going to their second funeral in the last month. And during this whole mourning period, Mitzi's trying to get in touch with Bo, but she really can't. So at the funeral, she finds Bo. And where I've left off on episode 20, she finally finds Bo at the funeral, and she's like, hey, I've been looking for you. Like, I want you to know I'm here for you. And when Bo turns around, she's holding onto the stuffed sheep that her brother gave her, and the black smoke is starting to surround her.
Oh, no.
I love this series.
Yeah.
I can't really put into words. It's just so clever. All of the nursery rhymes that are associated with what's going on in the episodes are listed in the little, like, author's notes. So there's seriously, like, this beautifully crafted reasoning for everything that's happening in the background. It is just so well thought out. The art is adorable. And it really is, like, there are some really horrific panels in it that it feels very much like an everything is fine kind of situation where it's like the cutesy art, but it really is like a scary concept.
Horrifying
of what's going
subject
on.
matter.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to read that one. It sounds so good.
It's so good. There are also like a couple of little like small panel comics that they do in the background, mostly with the Spider King, because right now he's not the main character. But you can tell that he's kind of a favorite of the creator because they'll do little mini comics. There was one where it was the Spider King giving a gift to Mitzi for Christmas. She had gifted him a scarf, and he's like, thanks for this random fabric. And she's like, no, it's a scarf, you doofus. And she like wraps it around him. And then he gives her a present, and she opens it. She's like, it's a bunch of dead flies. And he goes, you are very welcome. And there's definitely a little bit of a disconnect, but there have been multiple little side things like a poll to see who everybody's favorite character was, and the Spider King won.
Of course.
So we know what the fans are here for. And you know what? It's very well done.
I mean, you gotta love a Demon King.
Don't we all?
So, the last one that I'm gonna talk about is called Define the Relationship. This is one that was on both of our lists, but I put it on the TBR list today.
Yeah.
And this one is on Leeson. It is complete at 98 episodes plus 11 bonus episodes.
Yeah.
And this one is about Carlisle, and he is an alpha. It's an Omegaverse story. And it is also tagged a Hot Boys story. So not red flag, but, you know, it feels like it could probably be the same family.
So it's not hot guy, it's hot guys plural.
Yeah.
That's important.
Multiple of them.
Even
Carlisle,
better.
he's one of them.
2 is better than 1.
I would also classify this as like a black cat golden retriever story, which I just love.
We eat it up every time.
So Carlisle is an alpha, and he comes from a noble family. Alphas are very rare, and his grandfather is like super protective of their bloodline because he wants only alphas. So he controls everything and everyone in his family. Like, you see, Carlisle is thinking about like his partners, and he doesn't get to choose them. He can't be with the same partner multiple times because they're trying to maintain this pure bloodline.
Crazy.
So it starts off with Carlisle at New Year's, and they're doing the countdown. He's supposed to be meeting an Omega there, but the Omega is just like not anywhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of just walking through. He's like, all right, fine, I guess I'll just go meet him at the hotel that we're supposed to go to after we were supposed to meet for the countdown. So he's on his way, and as he's on his way, the countdown comes to an end, so it's the new year, and there's another guy there. His name is Ash. He's also an alpha, and he just comes up to Carlisle and just kisses him because it's New Year's.
Yeah, it's New Year's.
Yeah.
You can kiss whoever you want.
And Carlisle's like, is this normal? Do people kiss strangers on New Year's even though it is New Year's? And
yes.
Yeah, they do.
So there's your answer.
Then the Omega that he was supposed to be meeting comes up to him after this and like drags him away. So after this, we get a little bit more insight into Carlisle's life. You see that because he is the son of this noble family, he has a ton of pressure put on him, and he is trying to be in charge, powerful all the time, but is just kind of struggling with this.
Yeah.
So he's with a different partner, and he is not able to finish. So the Omega's like, I'm going to have to report this. And so that that just gives you like the dynamic of his family.
It's so clinical.
Yeah, it really is. Like, they don't treat it as an act of love or anything. It's just like we're trying to create the perfect bloodline or continue the perfect bloodline.
Yeah.
And so he ends up going to a doctor because this becomes a problem that is an ongoing problem. And the doctor and the psychologist are like, you know what? I think it is because you have to be in power everywhere. Like, you're an alpha, you're in charge of this company, you're in charge of trying to, like, do things for your family, you're in charge with these Omegas. I think you need to find someone else who can be in charge, and then you'll be able to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, someone just to take a little bit of the load off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's the prescription. Go find someone else to be in charge. And
easy enough, right?
He does. So, his brother, Kyle, also has a lover. This lover has a friend. Mm-hmm. That friend is Ash. So, Ash gets reintroduced as the guy from New Year's who was the stranger that he kissed. Mm-hmm. And right away, when they're having dinner and, like, trying to set up this arrangement,
yeah,
Carlisle realizes that Ash doesn't remember their New Year's kiss, and he's, like, kind of hurt by it.
Aww.
He's a little upset. But he is also, like, not wanting to show it. So they're going through the, like, all right, we're going to meet on the weekends, and we're going to do this for 2 months. And, you know, they're, like, setting up the terms and everything. And Carlisle's like, you can't fall in love with me. And Ash is telling him, like, don't worry, I won't. And on the
famous
inside,
last words.
I know. On the inside, Carlisle is, like, really struggling because you can see, like, he wants to be loved and he wants Ash to love him. Aww. But, like, he doesn't know how to deal with those feelings, and he's the black cat. And so it's kind of like, you know, you go to pet the cat is asking for attention, and then the cat bats your hand away.
But they still want the attention.
How
dare you not give them attention because I batted you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they end up going on a couple of dates because Ash is like, look, we got to get to know each other a little bit first.
Take me to dinner first.
So Ash is the one who's, like, in charge and, like, let's go to the movies. Let's go to dinner. And Carlisle just does not know what to do with any of this. He's, like, got his internal struggles the entire time. But I've only read the first, like, 20 episodes of this so far. I'm definitely going to keep reading it because I loved this one. But where I'm at right now, Carlisle is with Ash. They're in bed. They're chatting. And Ash is saying, like, once we're done with our agreement, then, like, you can take these skills to be with other alphas. And Carlisle is, like, internally devastated that Ash is saying this. And he's like, you're the only person that I'm gonna be with. And so then he's, like, thinking about all of the, like, one and only things that Ash has been for him. So he's like, he was my New Year's stranger kiss. He was the first person to, like, take me to the movies, and he's the first person that I've sat in a bed and, like, just talked all night and done nothing with, and, like, now he's been my first romantic partner who has taken charge instead of me taking charge. And so you can see that, like, he wants to be with Ash, and Ash, I think, really wants to be with him as well, but is holding back. But he's, like, still such a golden retriever, sunshine, happy guy that Carlisle is just, like, really struggling to, like, get a hold of the situation.
Yeah.
And I know that they're gonna fall in love and everything is gonna be great. So this one is so good, and you absolutely have to read it.
I have read, I think, maybe to the point that you have. I And I love them.
Yeah.
And their dynamic.
They're so cute.
The art for this one is also absolutely gorgeous.
It's super crisp.
Very crisp. And like, there are just some moments with like these beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to describe.
I love it.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
Omega Verses aren't always my favorite, but I did like this one early on. So I hope that I continue to like it. I'm so glad you're reading it though. So
since we're at the same spot, we'll have to buddy read it now.
I guess. Oh, darn. So the last one that I have for you is called Off Track. This is one that I did start. I read a couple episodes, knew I loved it. And again, that short attention span betrayed me. Off Track is on Tapas. It's an ongoing boy love story. It's 47 episodes and releases on Wednesdays. The story follows Gunmu Cha, and he is really bad at his job of being a spy.
Oh, no.
He just kind of fumbles, it seems like a lot. He works with his main boss named Jay, and Jay gives him these assignments and is like, don't fuck up, and he somehow finds a way to fuck up every time. So where the story opens, Gunmu is on a mission, and he's supposed to be surveilling this girl, Crystal. Crystal's uncle, Dominic, who basically raised her, is a leader of this gang, and he is doing a lot of different illegal activities in the background. He's also trying to steal this really rare red diamond, and it was on the black market for a while. And really, Jay is trying to track this down. You don't really know why, but Jay wants this red diamond. Dominic also wants this diamond and or has the diamond. And so right now, Gunmu is just supposed to try to collect some intel and surveil. But he immediately fails. So he's at this very ritzy bar, and he ends up seeing these two people having spiked a drink, and they go to give it to this person who works for Yunsen Group, which is like this huge conglomerate. They own hotels, they own this jewelry company and all this other stuff. And this young son is like very well known. His name is Teo. He was a professional race car driver for a while. He's just kind of like known as the playboy, but doesn't have like a bad reputation. Just everybody loves him. Mm-hmm. And he loves everybody. So he sees this, and his moral compass is like, I can't let this guy get drugged. Like, that's not cool. And Teo drinks it so fast that he's like, shit. And so he sees Teo getting really dizzy, and these two guys being like, let's get him back to the hotel. And Gunmu steps in, and he's like, back away from him. I'm here with him. I'm taking him back home. Like, you guys need to fuck off. And so he starts walking Teo away, and Teo's like, hey, take me to the Yunsen Group hotel. They'll, tell them that you're with me, and they're going to give you the key to the master room, and then, like, we can just go up there. So they get there, and Teo, though he's been afflicted by whatever his drink was spiked with, gets to the hotel and immediately is like, well, you stepped in because you wanted to take advantage of me. And Gunmu's like, no, I just saw that your drink got spiked and I wanted to get you somewhere to safety. And Teo doesn't take no for an answer, and they end up sleeping with one another. Mm-hmm. And Gunmu's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave. Like, didn't expect that was going to happen. And he has to, like, grovel back to Jay and be like, remember that intel I was supposed to get? So sorry. Jay, pretty pissed. But he's like, you know what? Fine. We're just going to infiltrate Dominic's headquarters. And then we're going to break into a safe, and you're going to see if the red diamond is in there. So they, for some reason, Jay sends Gunmu again to go and do this. He poses as an electrician, and he breaks into the safe, and the Dominic is like heading up with his head honchos to the room. So Jay's like, get out of there. And he's like, but there's a bunch of red diamonds. Do I just take all of them? And he's like, yes, get out. So Gunmu takes the red diamonds. He goes to jump out the window, and Dominic catches him as he's halfway out the window. So he takes his gun and physically throws it. Instead of shooting it, he just throws the gun at Dominic's face and gives him a bloody nose, and then jumps out the window.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I know. So Gunmu goes back. He takes the diamonds back. They're all replicas. They're not real. And so they know that Dominic doesn't have the real diamond and that he's making these really high quality replicas to try to replace it without whoever has it knowing that it's being replaced. Mm-hmm. So Jay's trying to do all this intel digging in the background, and he finds out that Yunsen Group has a newly acquired jewelry company, and they have the red diamond. So he's like, I need you to get close to Teo Yun. And Gwen was like, about that, I actually slept with him. And Jay's like, I can't even fucking believe you. So Jay is like, well, you're going to have to continue to suck up to Teo. And here are these bugging devices. You should plant them in Teo's house if you can get access to it. Mm-hmm. And before he can even reach out to Teo, Teo's like, hey, I realized I had the wrong opinion of what was going on, and I'd really like to apologize. Like, can we get dinner? So Gunmu goes to dinner with Teo. Teo is like, I'm actually pretty intrigued by you. Like, we should maybe continue to see each other. And you find out that simultaneously, Teo's trying to figure out who the fuck Gunmu is. Mm-hmm. And why he was trying to get close to him. So he's allowing him to be close. He's like, I don't have anything to hide, but like, he can be here.
Yeah.
And Gunmu's trying to study Teo, but he's bad at his job. I don't want to give you too many spoilers about this one. Right now, where it's at, just madness has ensued.
Yeah.
You learn why Gunmu's so bad at his job and why he's in this business. And it was because he was an orphan and he grew up with his older Hyung, or like someone he considered to be his older brother in the orphanage.
Yeah.
And he went to go and live with him after they were both like of age and moved out. And his Hyung had gotten involved in this whole like crime syndicate. And his brother died. And so he's trying to do it to get more information on like who killed his brother. He's really bad at it. He's doing it with his whole heart. But he's just not great at it. So like he's using what his brother taught him. Yeah. But like he really is just doing it to like honor his brother and try to find answers. And he wants to get to a point that he can like drop it eventually. Yeah. So he was supposed to be done with the whole Dominic spiel. And now it's all just gotten into this huge confuddled mess.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It sounds so funny.
I love them. Also, this one, incredible chibis.
Yeah.
That's just my aside for you.
Oh, thank you.
I know not everyone chooses their story by the chibis, but maybe they should. But I absolutely love it. I'm caught up on this one. And now all I'm going to need to do is catch up on Little Mitzi Muffet.
Yeah. And Buddy Reed, Define the Relationship.
Yeah. That's fine. I'll just add it to the list. It'll be higher up this time, though. But anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. And we're looking forward to talking to you all on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.